Hello Helldivers. Today I'll be showing off all of the game's support weapons, and I'll be giving my personal opinions about how to use all of them. I hope you enjoy. First up on the list is the machine gun. This is the only support weapon that you start the game with. It has a very large ammo capacity and a high fire rate with manageable recoil. If you're somehow struggling to control the recoil of this gun, perhaps consider simply believing harder in democracy. Or you could try wearing armor that comes with the engineering kit passive to reduce recoil by 30%. The machine gun is great for holding lines against the enemy of democracy or for jumping straight into a bug nest and holding that trigger. This weapon is consistent and will always have your back, regardless of what front you find yourself on. I'm giving the machine gun a democracy rating of 7 out of 10. Very democratic. Next up on our list, we have the anti-material rifle. This is the long-range weapon that comes with heavy armor penetration. You can use the anti-material rifle at close range if you choose to do so. Simply don't aim down sights. However, it performs best if you keep your distance and aim for enemy weak points. If you kill your target from far enough away and in one shot, they'll never find your position. Some Helldivers have been reported saying that staying far away from your enemy and sniping them is undemocratic. These Helldivers have all been reported to a democracy officer. Staying at long range is not cowardice, it is giving yourself a tactical advantage. I'm giving the anti-material rifle a democracy rating of 6 out of 10. Quite democratic. Now we have the stalwart machine gun. If the first machine gun on the list feels too heavy and sluggish for your weak, undemocratic arms, you might want to consider the stalwart. It comes with a larger magazine and less recoil, as well as much less weapon drag. It's great for mowing down large hordes of Super Earth's enemies. However, beware that due to the stalwart being designed to fire smaller democracy bullets, it only comes with light armor penetration. Just be sure to bring a primary that will make up for the lack of armor penetration, and this weapon will feel right at home. I'm giving the stalwart machine gun a democracy rating of 8 out of 10. Impressively democratic. Now bear witness to democracy in its purest form. The expendable anti-tank is a hard-hitting anti-tank launcher with one shot. The game demonstrates it being used on smaller enemies like bile spewers. However, this isn't democratic at all. It is instead a huge waste of ammo. You should only fire this weapon at enemies that require the full firepower of freedom, such as bile titans, impalers, vector striders, hulks, or chargers. I'm giving the expandable anti-tank a democracy rating of 8 out of 10. Impressively democratic. Helldivers be warned. Only soldiers that demonstrate the greatest acts of freedom are permitted to even touch the recoilless rifle. This is a community favorite, and for good reason. The launcher comes with a full backpack of ammo and hits even harder than the last launcher on this list. Rest assured, anything you shoot this weapon at will be destroyed, and democracy will be delivered. I'm giving this a democracy rating of 10 out of 10. Inspiringly democratic. This is the flamethrower, the most simple and effective way to guarantee that all your enemies will bathe in the holy flames of freedom. Light the ground ablaze, and this turns into one of the greatest area denial weapons on the field against the rotten terminids. Just be careful not to ignite your fellow squad mates, as the democratic flames may be too powerful for them to withstand. However, feel free to walk up to any bug out there and show them the flames of liberty with the flamethrower. I'm giving this democratic weapon a democracy rating of 9 out of 10. Insanely democratic. You can do this with an autocannon. 7 out of 10. Behold, freedom at its finest. The heavy machine gun. If your arms are too strong and too full of democratic values of thoughts and freedom for the last two machine guns, this is the gun for you. This machine gun has the biggest democracy bullets of them all, with heavy armor penetration. The peak physique armor passive is almost required to wield this mighty weapon. The heavy machine gun will shoot through just about anything you'll encounter out there on the field. Simply crouch or lay prone and watch as the recoil magically disappears. This is a weapon for true Helldivers. I'm giving this a democracy rating of 9 out of 10. Insanely democratic. Here we have the Airburst Rocket Launcher. This weapon has 2 fire modes, Flak for anti-air and Cluster for everything else. Firing into the air while in cluster mode will give you a much bigger democratic spread of cluster bombs. This weapon is feared among the community due to its possibility to kill your fellow Helldivers. This weapon should not be feared, but instead respected. You can use this to clear hordes of any faction. Shooting it at chargers is also quite effective, and there is no better tool to get rid of swarms of shriekers. I'm giving this weapon a democracy rating of 10 out of 10. Inspiringly democratic. The next weapon in our video is the Commando. The 4-barreled rocket launcher can be used to destroy bot fabricators and bug nests. It has laser-guided rockets, meaning missing is almost impossible. You can use the rockets sparingly to make them last longer, or shoot all 4 at once for maximum damage. I'm giving this weapon a democracy rating of 7 out of 10. Very democratic. The Railgun is a medium to long-range weapon that must be charged between shots. The weapon is best used on medium targets, like flesh mobs from a distance or bird commanders. You should always have the weapon in unsafe mode for the most damage possible. However, use caution and do not blow up your railgun. You will be reported to high command. Keep your distance, and so long as your aim is true, this weapon will never let you down. I'm giving this a democracy rating of 6 out of 10. Definitely democratic. You will love this weapon. It is required. The spear is perfect for destroying bug nests or bot fabricators from a very, very long range. It is anti-tank and comes with a backpack of ammo. The spear is possibly one of the most democratic and liberating weapons on the entire list. Helldivers must go through 3 months of training to prevent the overpowering feeling of joy and godlike power this weapon brings to users. I'm giving this a democracy rating of democracy out of 10. Democratic as hell. The scientists of Super Earth one day wondered just what would happen if you took everything great about the spear and got rid of all of it. What happens is the Wasp Launcher. This sad piece of overpriced metal will have you wondering why you ever even brought it on the mission in the first place. The Wasp struggles to complete the most basic of tasks, such as functioning as a proper weapon, or even hitting your target one time if you aren't in an open field that is completely flat. Using the Wasp Launcher should be considered a form of treason. I'm giving this terrible weapon a democracy rating of 1 out of 10. Anti-democratic. Next we have the laser cannon. The laser cannon is simple, reliable, and very fun to use. It's a heat weapon, so it has infinite ammo if used democratically. Firing in short bursts to let the weapon cool down seems to be the most effective way to use it. The laser cannon has heavy armor penetration and will absolutely melt their Hulk if you aim at their head. It will also cut through hordes of just about anything you point it at. It also has the bonus of catching enemies on fire. I'm giving this a democracy rating of 8 out of 10. Impressively democratic. Here we have the grenade launcher. The grenade launcher shoots high damage grenades at great distances. It can be used to destroy bug nests and bot fabricators. The grenade launcher is also a fun way to take down flesh mobs when fighting the Illuminate. Rapidly firing into a crowd of enemies is a great way to get very high kill streaks. This is also one of the best ways to take out outposts or bug nests from a distance. I'm giving this a democracy rating of 7 out of 10. Very democratic. In my eyes, the arc thrower is like a lightning variant of the flamethrower. You charge the weapon up, and it shoots a burst of lightning. This lightning can and will arc through hordes of enemies, and does enough damage to kill most small enemies. I always enjoy using the arc thrower. If you shoot larger targets with it, they have a chance to be stunned, making them easier to kill. I'm giving this weapon a democracy rating of 8 out of 10. Impressively democratic. Now, finally we have the Quasar Cannon. This is easily my favorite support weapon to bring on high difficulty missions. It's always useful when playing on Helldivers or Super Helldive. The Quasar Cannon has infinite ammo and a relatively short cooldown in between shots. It shoots anti-tank explosive energy bursts. This weapon can and will kill anything you shoot it at. I'm giving the Quasar Cannon a democracy rating of democracy out of 10. Democratic as hell. I wanted to take a quick moment to thank everyone that made it this far in the video. I'm new to the whole YouTube thing, and I put a lot of work in this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. A subscription would mean the world to me. Remember to take it easy, everyone, and I'll see you in my next video.